Yeah, do you want to do a quick intro?
Hey guys, welcome back, Double Teamed fam. How are we doing today? I'm so excited because we brought Rose from Bro Girl Therapy on the pod. And I mean, if y'all didn't know, Nikki and I are absolutely obsessed with you.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with y'all.
Oh my God.
It's
Yeah,
friendship. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I am too.
Am I
thrilled.
good? Is this positioned correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
How am
Yeah.
I?
You're good. I tilted it up.
We're so eager.
You're always on the
Give me approval. I look good, right? Everything's fine? Okay, cool. I just got off of work. That's fine.
And I love that you have Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
So Liquid Death will be the water sponsor at the live show.
Yeah, they said
Murder
something
your
about
thirst.
yes, murder your thirst.
Murder your
I'll
thirst.
sponsor you anytime, Liquid Death.
I remember-
I'm obsessed with them. You don't understand. It makes me, anytime my friends are drinking, I take one out and I feel like I'm getting drunk with them because I'm drinking water.
So I don't drink a whole lot, and so I really like products like Liquid Death because then you can look like you're drinking and you can look like you're like part of the whole
crew.
aesthetic,
Yeah.
the crew, the scene, but you're not getting drunk.
Yeah,
You're
no,
just
and
drinking
I've
water.
never been drunk. I don't drink at all. So this is like the ideal product for me. So
Oh,
I can always
really?
continue my, party girl mentality while being stone sober.
I like it.
I love it.
And it's actually really good water.
No, it murders the thirst.
It
It's
does.
quite refreshing.
Yeah, it's better than this unnamed brand that we have right here, but I appreciate the water.
Nah, man. I was about to be like, we really calling out. It's just, it was free. So we appreciate that. And this was just fancy water. I love it.
Yes.
My personal favorite water is Evian or Evian, however the fuck you say it.
Evian?
Evian.
Evian.
It's Evian. Yeah,
Evian.
it's not Evian, it's Evian. I'm just kidding.
Evian,
It's
yeah.
it's Evian.
Evian. Water. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm a
Leviosa.
Fuji bitch when I get offered it. I don't go out and buy Fuji because it's so expensive, but everyone loves that.
Oh,
like,
Fiji?
Oh my Jesus Christ. See? Evian, Fuji, Fiji. Yeah, Fuji. I like Fuji. Apparently it's a broke man's version of Fiji water. But I like the square one. Don't listen to me.
I also like Essentia or
Yeah,
however
we
you
just like bullshit all that. Dasaniana? Yeah, like that's my favorite one, you know? The thing though about the Saniana is like, have you ever noticed when you open it, it makes a noise like it is? Oh, I just murdered you. Here, do you need some water?
Okay.
Dasaniana.
Oh, so funny. I'm
That
sorry.
water is, we all know that's
Trash.
Yeah,
Trash water.
It, like,
Even
makes
during
a
the
noise.
pandemic.
Yeah, you shouldn't like open your water and have it like talk back to you. You know what I mean? Unless it's sparkling water, there's no reason for it to you.
But
know?
did you see that during the pandemic, no one was buying Dasani?
Oh, there's that great. I don't know if anyone's watched the most recent Atlanta episode, but there's an episode where Ern opens. He's like, "Do you have water?" And he like opens this thing, and it's a thing of Dasani. He goes, "No, I'm not drinking that." He's like, "I'd rather not have anything." But yeah, no one would buy it. You can't even boil it and make it better. That's the sad part.
I don't
And your
know.
pasta tastes like it. Ugh.
What the fuck do they put in it?
Minerals.
Something it's it. I don't know.
I think it's the magnesium ratio, but that's just personal opinion.
That's really good marketing. You shouldn't give them ideas. They're going to say that now. They're going to be like, our pH balance of magnesium is super high.
And that's why it tastes the way it does.
Yeah, but we're a Liquid Death family. So.
We are. And
Cheers.
at the live show, we will be a Liquid Death family.
Yes. Murder that.
I only got the
Thirst.
still. I didn't know they made a sparkling.
Oh, yeah, they make a mango one.
What?
It's super delicious. Oh, I'm
Oh,
a huge
wow.
fan of the mango one.
They had asked me if I wanted any sort of flavor. I was like, 100% still, please.
No,
I'm a
I feel like
still
I was going to say for a podcast recording episode, like you don't want people burping. And, like, you know what I mean? Like still water is better than like spicy water.
Yeah.
And, like
Yes.
fuzzies, like no, you don't want the bubbles coming back
Yeah.
up. So
I think you're right.
Now, this isn't a water podcast.
Yes. It can be if we really wanted it to. But
Well,
if we're
it's a
talking
different type of wet.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we're talking about wetness, then
Hydration. Hydration is
Hydration.
important for sex.
it really is. Like, I've definitely noticed that when I drink a lot of water, I'm wetter. Like, just naturally. Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't think I've ever noticed that, but probably, yeah.
But do you consider your cooch to be fairly moist?
Oh yeah, no, it's the first thing men comment.
Really?
Like, even in my, like I realized when I was like 32, I was like, oh God, because you know, as you get older, you're like, is the well gonna dry? And people are like, oh my God. And I'm like, Way to go.
Wait,
like,
32?
still
How
sticking
old
up.
are you?
Yeah,
If
we
you
don't
I'm
mind me.
32. I'll be 33 on Halloween. Yeah.
Your skin is
Your
amazing.
skin's amazing.
Oh my God, thank you. I saw my esthetician in Seattle and she said the same thing. It's like my eczema is my only problem.
Wow.
But drinking, it's because I literally drink my weight in water. I
Love
drink my
that.
weight in my water and then I wear sunscreen constantly and I never sit in the sun because I would sunburn. I can't tan. 'Cause
And the water helps with the WAP.
exactly. Because the wet ass pussy part needs to be like wet. God, now that we're talking, I think I was very nervous about being on this because I was like, I'm going to be super like unfiltered that I might tell my mom she can't listen to this one.
That's okay.
She can listen to some girl therapies, but I feel like you guys have like an influence on people. That you get them like, they confess shit and say like, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'm down to get down and dirty with you guys. So, here we are. I'm so excited.
Which hand do you give the best hand jobs with?
Oh, I'm a righty.
Really?
Except I got into an accident recently. Not recently, like 5 years ago. So I have some metal. So you can hear it click sometimes. Maybe they like that. But
It's like a little maraca,
Pretty much. I will say though, I'm not that good at giving head. I'll just own it. I'm
Really?
not the best at giving head. I have the worst gag reflexes. Like literally just thinking about choking and gagging. I'm just like, oh, I can't do it. But I have been known since high school to being like giving the best hand jobs. And I do remember there was like these two dudes that both hooked up with me in high school and they were like, she gives really good hand jobs. And I was like, I think that's crazy that like no one brags about a fucking hand job, but apparently I give great hand jobs.
But I think that's a great skill to have because, like, I'll be honest, I would rather destroy my throat and throw up and blow a guy than like use my hand. Why? Because like things start cramping, like it doesn't feel comfortable. And guys, like when you're blowing, it's like, of course, when they go in your pussy, it's like, 5 seconds and done.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're blowing them or giving them a hand job, they're like, I'm going to lay here and take it for fucking 30 minutes. And I can't do
Because
that.
I don't got a gorilla grip in my mouth. Like, it's never going to happen. She's down there. So it's like, I'm trying to get a gorilla grip. I will say though, now that I have nails, it is a lot harder to give like a good hand job with. Like, I don't know how girls with longer nails, like these are now natural. Like I've blown them out and
I
they're
like those, yeah.
Thank you. That was my girl OG at Paint Bar. But like now I just like
Give her a shout out.
She's the best. She's really, really good.
Give her a shout out. LA, go to Paint Bar.
Yeah. Oh my God, Sam, she's the best. But like, yeah, the whole idea of that, like, I don't want you to sit here and enjoy it. Like I want this to be over, kind of,
Yes.
And I'm also a writer, so this could be like a work hazard. Like I need this hand,
You got to insure it, maybe.
You gotta. Wait a second. Just put her on like a pillow somewhere and everything.
Wait, but you can insure your body parts. Doctors do it.
What the fuck? Well,
Yeah.
athletes do it too. Like
Yeah.
I feel like pitchers and things like that. My cousin married a baseball player, and I think he has like he can't do anything fun. Oh wait, what's wrong?
Oh no, I was just waiting for the TV to come back up so I can see
you
my
can
Are
see
we
myself.
good? Are we good?
Yeah.
It's still recording?
I love
Okay,
that.
just making sure.
I cannot. I keep like
No,
I know
you're
that I'm
good.
there,
No, you
but
look
I can't look
beautiful.
at myself.
Sometimes I like to scan the screen to make sure everything's still looking good and focused and whatnot, but it
and we
went
look
off.
pretty.
Yeah.
as fuck.
Yes.
Because
The
I
lighting is really pretty.
literally just got off of Zoom and like tried to put a face on, so I'm really glad that you guys.
No, you look great.
Yeah.
I just wanted to look really pretty for you.
Just
for
such
our
a
date.
natural glow.
Stop. I think it's because I'm like ovulating.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, it's for
Wait,
sure.
do you get
happening.
really horny when you ovulate?
I get horny every moment. Like that's the weird part. I'm the horniest.
Are you on
There's like
birth control?
3 days I am. I'm on the lucky this little one. I know.
How's
and
that
I've had
working
it.
out for you?
I absolutely love it.
Really?
So I have endometriosis. So
Oh.
this helps regulate my periods as well as keeps my hormones like in check. So like of course like the first like couple months that when these get put in, you kind of are like literally just like what is anything, and you're like throw the
Insane.
fucking toaster in the
Yeah.
bathwater, like you just are losing your shit, and then it evens out, and it's honestly the best thing, and it stays in your body now for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
They've learned that, and I just like I keep telling my doctor, I'm like, never take it out, just keep it in there, like.
Wow.
I fucking love this thing.
I
It's
forget
amazing.
that people have positive experiences with birth
So
control.
you still have a sex drive and you still get really wet even when on that one.
Oh yeah, because that's the other thing is I did the NuvaRing, couldn't do it. That one made me cry over like everything, and the NuvaRing was really awkward because like there's been like the ring toss where like a man like pulls it out too quickly and like the fucking thing goes around. Oh yeah, that happened to me all the time.
Wait, what?
I was having sex with one of my exes and like we were fucking and he just like pulled out too quickly and like took my NuvaRing with him and it just like flung across the room and like hit the wall and it like stuck and I was like,
Did it
okay,
ever
well.
get stuck to the head of his
Oh yeah,
dick?
all the time.
Wow.
Especially because if they're not circumcised, you get in like if you have that mushroom, then it like really like grabs onto it.
Wow.
And there are a lot of guys where they're like, I can feel it, and I'm like, just work around it, like, stop it. But then my doctor was like, you can take it out during sex and then put it back in when you're done too.
What?
But yeah, like just for the times of like when you're having sex. So then you like put it, but then that was like, where the fuck did I put it? Like there's barely times where I can find my like socks or underwear.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, fuck it, I gotta open.
Well,
a
then
new one.
you have to like disinfect it. Then dip
Exactly.
it.
It's like a diva cup. Like I'm like, I don't really like. Yeah, I can't think about
That
that type
sounds
of shit.
uncomfortable.
And then I did the copper IUD, which was the worst.
Okay, tell me
That
about
is
that
the
one.
Worst.
I almost got on that one. No.
You know how long I lasted on that one? For
What?
literally 16 minutes.
Wow.
I put it in and I just was like, I like sat up and I was like, nope, take it out. I was like, immediately my entire body just like felt like, like when your arm falls asleep and it's all fuzzy? Like my
Yeah.
entire body felt that way. And I was like, no, fuck this shit, take it out. And I know friends that have had horror stories of it being pulled out. Also. So,
My
yeah.
mom said she had it and she loved it. But I was like,
people
but
love
see,
it.
so that's what I'm saying. It's like that one seems to be the one where you get like the most stark. Like people either hate it or they love it.
Yep.
And I really think it depends on your blood type.
Ooh,
and
I
how
never
it-
thought like that.
Yeah, because it's copper.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm O negative. Yeah, maybe that makes sense.
I don't know what my mom is, but I've heard that depending on your blood type, maybe it can affect how you react to it. Regardless, I went on the night before I was supposed to have it put in. I went on a Reddit thread, and that was a
That's what I was
mistake.
going to say. The biggest mistake. Any sentence was, I started the night on a Reddit thread, and then I ended up joining QAnon, basically. Some weird shit like that. It's not a good combo.
I canceled the appointment because I was like, I can't do it. There were people on there that were like, I literally bled. And my doctor even told me this because the next day I still had my appointment to like do like a pap smear and all that, like my normal wellness check and an STD check and everything. But I asked her, I'm like, what's a copper IUD like? She's like, well, you're gonna bleed for like a month straight. Yeah, and
Jesus.
I was like, and that's normal?
Yeah, that's the other weird thing. Where it's like all this shit that we put in our bodies and
Yeah.
like dudes don't like fucking A. Like
I
the
know.
amount of men that complain about a fucking condom. I'm like, you could at least take that off when we're done. Like you weirdos.
Wait, so with your birth control now, do you let dudes come inside you?
Oh yeah. Not recently though. I feel like now that I'm single, like my ex that I dated for like 3.5 years, like we didn't use condoms.
Okay, and he came in you all the time.
And he came into me all the time.
Okay.
And I also have a very low chance of getting pregnant because of my endometriosis.
Oh, okay.
Like they just basically are like, we don't know how you would carry a child. It would be really difficult. I would probably have to do like, freezing my eggs or like, having a surrogate or something. But like, yeah, they were like, just be safe and everything. But with this, like, it was completely fine. We never had a pregnancy scare at all our entire 3.5 years that we dated. Now that I'm like single, and it's weird being single after something like a pandemic and then monkeypox, as someone who does have sex with, I don't know I don't know who your partner is. I'm very fluid. And so is the men that I sleep with. So I haven't had sex without a condom like now that I've been single. And I feel like I'm still gonna, if I have like one dude in my like rotation that we're like, okay, we can agree not to do the condoms, but I don't have anyone that's like worthy of that honor right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, there isn't. Sorry.
So is there also like at least for me, I don't know if this is the same for you. I don't let men come inside me unless I have very strong feelings for them. So it's only ever been like, I want to say less than maybe around 5 dudes total, maybe 6. Anyways, not that many. Yeah. So
That's adorable.
I was gonna say, actually, nope.
You're
If
like,
I
"Nah."
really like the dick, I'm like, please come inside.
I don't know why. I think I like it. It's a weird thing. I do really like it when a guy comes inside me. It kind of turns me on in a weird way.
Do you have a breeding kink?
A what?
A breeding kink?
Oh God, no! I don't want children. No, I don't want babies. I don't want babies.
So a breeding kink doesn't necessarily have to do with like actually getting pregnant. A breeding kink usually is in relation to just like the feeling and the thought of being bred, but not it actually resulting in pregnancy.
I don't like that I might have discovered this on this podcast. Maybe. I don't know. Cause like I know that I don't want kids and I know that I don't want to like get pregnant. So like,
But do you like the thought of like being like inseminated?
ew, no. And that sounds like very alien-esque. I don't know what inseminated. That definitely sounds like Alien or Avatar. That's weird.
Okay,
I don't
but do you like the thought or the feeling of being bred?
Cleaned?
With minus kids.
bread? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not really, breeding. That idea, I don't know if I attach to it, but I do attach to this idea of like feeling some sort of like, I don't know, like euphoric queen feeling, having a man come in me and just being like, murdering your children. Like, I don't know if it's like that, but it's like, it's very Game of Thrones-y, I think, where I'm just like, I'm going to make dragons and then not, you know, it's just, I don't know, something I like the feeling of a man coming inside of me without a condom.
Okay. And so you don't necessarily save that for anyone special.
No, I guess kind of I do because I'm not doing it while I'm single.
Okay.
And there have been times, like before I was with my ex, there was this one dude, he was like a comedian from New York, and that was like our thing. Like we were just like, oh, like we can sleep with whoever, but like you and me are not going to use condoms. And we also had the agreement that like we wouldn't fuck unless we saw each other's like results too. So we had like a really healthy like relationship. But he lived in New York, so
I
it was
love
like
that.
when he came to LA, we like would hook up, but there was no condoms involved. So like that was a really good thing. And I'm like cool with that if that's like definitely what a guy wants to do now that I'm like single and everything. But like I don't know. I think maybe I don't have to have feelings with that person, but I do have to feel like a connection or like maybe a weird agreement with them. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's that, like that I'm like, oh, you're a special one. You can come inside this altar, basically. You know what I mean?
So the comedian was like a comet partner. Have you heard that term?
You are educating me. Oh, what?
Like
So,
a satellite partner,
like a comet partner,
someone
someone that you see like when
only
they're
when you're in that city.
yeah.
Oh, yes. I have all those everywhere. I tried to have one when I was in Seattle and it like completely failed. Like,
Okay, so where do you have any current comet partners?
I guess I do. I have a couple in New York. I have one in Cuba, but I haven't been in Cuba in like forever.
Love that.
I used to have a bunch in Seattle, but the thing about Seattle dudes is like they're all like in relationships or married. So I was like, oh, and I tried to set up a new one last time I was in Seattle and it like did not work. It was bad.
Do you like Seattle?
I'm from there originally. So I was just like, you know, I just needed some jump offs to like entertain myself while I'm like, oh, I'm tired of my family. Like, let me go like hook up with someone. But I definitely tried to have like one of those people in Seattle and it just didn't work. I guess in a weird way, I kind of have a bunch in LA. It's just like one dude on the west side, one dude on the east side, you know, one dude down Orange County, Marina Del Rey,
Santa Barbara.
Yeah, exactly.
San Diego.
Yeah. Oh my God. I guess I do have one in the Bay. I have my Bay. I definitely, yes, I have my Bay. And we haven't hooked up in a while. But yeah, now that I'm like single, I'm like realizing that like I do have this like,
Little network.
Yeah, this network, this UN of possibilities, basically. The United Nations of Rose's vagina. You know, I don't discriminate. You know, everyone can come in.
UNRSV.
Yeah,
No, UNRV. There you go.
There you go. The United States of my vagina. But yeah, I'm not like I do like that kind of relationship. Is the whole like. I call it, I didn't know that was the correct term for it. I called it the Party Next Door rules because Party Next Door, the singer has a song called like, I got bitches, you got dudes, but like when we're in town, we know who's who. And it's like, like, you know, hey, I'm in your city. And then all of a sudden it's like, you kind of drop everything for that person. And like, that was my favorite thing about the comic is when he would be like, I'm in LA. And I'd be like, bet. Like, I literally had just finished having sex with a dude and the comic hit me up. And I was like, Okay, so you have to go to like the gentleman caller in my bed to be like, there's someone coming right now, like literally.
So you're pro 2-a-days?
Oh, I've done a hat trick. I've definitely done.
Wait, what's a hat trick?
3 in one day.
Shit.
Love that.
Have I
Like
done
3
that?
separate occasions. I've never done that.
You've never done a hat trick?
No, I've done like at a sex party where I had more sex with more than 3 people. I think my max at a sex party was 4. Yeah.
Okay.
But that was at like one event and it was a sex party, right?
Right, but
So
the
it's like,
parameters
so there's
are
a-
different.
But I don't know that I've done a hat trick.
Yeah, it's 3 different dudes on 3 different occasions in 24 hours.
Wow.
And I don't know why, but it always seems to coincide with Thanksgiving. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but like especially when I used to go back all the time to Seattle, like during Thanksgiving, it was like that Thanksgiving break was just so easy to like set up 3 different dudes.
I love that.
It's the pumpkin pie.
It's the pumpkin pie.
It really
it's the
is.
nostalgia. It's the
Yes.
like, I'm tired of my family. You know, I haven't
Yes.
seen you in a while. There's a lot of elements to it that like
Yes.
make you think like, oh, this is cute. You know,
It's serendipitous.
It's serendipitous. It's very hallmarky. You know,
Oh, yeah.
See,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, she's visiting from the big city, and then like, you know, we fuck, and
Yeah,
it's like
Hallmark, if you're listening, a
I
hat
got
trick.
you. The hat trick.
A hat trick
hat trick.
She's
episode.
saving
Yeah.
her family bakery. Right? He's a hockey player and she's saving her family's bakery. And she's a lawyer from the big city. It's called the hat trick. And then she falls in love with 3 different dudes in like 24 hours.
And they all help the bakery
and
come
then it
alive.
becomes a
Exactly.
quad. You all date each other.
Yes, and then it's just like everyone's happy, you know. One turns into a pastry chef, the other one
Yes.
stays a hockey player, and then the other one's like, I don't know, the
A
stay-at-home dad,
businessman.
the businessman. Oh yeah, you need one of those. An
Yeah.
accountant, maybe.
Even better.
That's that's kinda my
Entrepreneur.
vibe. But yeah, like the hat trick, that's definitely, or the perfect game where it's 7 dudes in 7 days.
Shit.
I'm learning a lot of terms now. Okay.
I know this. Maybe this is the education.
yeah,
we're
we're learning.
learning.
Okay,
Yeah.
the perfect game.
Okay, I think I have played the perfect game before.
Yeah,
Just once.
and it's interesting because I feel like maybe you had this. You didn't realize you were playing until maybe like the 4th or 5th day where you're like, oh fuck. Like that's how I always, whenever I accidentally play the perfect game, I'm like, oh fuck. I got 2 more days until I can like make it the actual week. You know what I mean?
Okay, so for me, and I've said this before in another episode, it was 8 dudes in 4 days. So it was
Ooh.
two a days every day for 4 days.
I think by proxy though, if you actually ruled it, you might have hit a hat trick because if it is within that 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
By proxy.
by proxy, I feel like maybe you did in that 24 hours did have like a by
Yeah.
You know.
I'd really have to go back and look at my calendar and see what time I scheduled it all.
Wait,
But
like is that real? Do you have a calendar of your sex capades?
yes.
Shut the fuck up. Is
I
it color
put-
coordinated?
No, it's not
No.
color coordinated, but I do
We
have
do share a calendar. So it's like my stuff, my work stuff is in like a periwinkle.
Oh wait, it is color coordinated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like our pod stuff is in purple, and
Pink.
then my pink. My personal stuff is in pink, and then
different
Cammie's
pink.
stuff is
Mine is periwinkle and then purple.
yeah. So it's color coordinated. That way we see like who's gonna be doing what. So if I have
And
plans,
who's doing who?
who's
pretty
doing
much,
who?
right?
Yeah. So if I have like a dick appointment, then I'll put it on there so that Cammie can see like, okay, Nikki's gonna be gone that night.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
first of all very considerate and super sweet because then it just lets you know it's like okay, then I can walk around the apartment naked. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
just sets the other
yeah.
person up to be like I'm
It
going to
does.
Netflix and chill solo yellow. You know what I mean? This might be even no. I feel like you guys are very open to this. Have you ever had the dick appointments like? Where you had to fight for no, I had this dick appointment first.
Oh,
Or has
like
it-
at our place?
Yes.
Because we share a place?
Not at our place, but we have had arguments as to who gets to spend the night that night at their dude's house.
There you go. Okay.
Because like we got pets, so like one of us has to come back home. So we've definitely had the argument of like who comes back home.
Yeah.
But no,
There's
usually
been a
I
few
go to
instances
yeah.
where I've had to get up at 1 a.m. to head home.
That was my bad. I'm sorry. I know. Sorry. Hey, one time I did it too, so don't even. Whatever. But but no, usually like if I'm gonna go hook up with a guy, like we go like to ours because usually either one of us is home and like, we've
Right.
got the beds. Like it's very overwhelming to have a dude over, so I usually go to their place. So that's just,
Oh yeah. See, that's my
Yeah.
other thing is that like so do you okay, so I always feel very recently I don't like meeting dudes at my place. Like
What-
my
what
first
are your
place is not.
thoughts?
I'd rather go to their place.
Same. Yeah.
Because I'd rather have an escape plan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Versus like
I don't want someone in my home longer than I want them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if I bring you to my home, that's the ultimate like, okay,
Yeah.
you get to come into my house.
No,
and,
same,
like, this.
same. That's like, it's like coming inside me. If I let a dude
Yes.
come to my place, that means I like them. And that
Oh,
means that
yeah.
it's like, it's something. Like otherwise, no.
And it's a safety
Yeah.
thing for sure.
Yeah,
to be like,
that's it.
how are you weird? Are you going to remember my address? Like, I always love
Exactly.
it when a guy's like, what's your address? Because I'm like, oh, you don't remember or know how to scroll up text messages. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
If it's the first time I'm meeting a guy and it's at my place and he asks me for my address, I will literally wait until the last fucking minute to give it to him.
Same. So I'll literally be like, it's on
Yep.
like 6th and 20th, whatever. Yeah. And then
And
I'm
then
sending
you're
it.
like, you
And
get the house
then-
number.
Yeah. And then later when they're like literally 5 minutes away, I'm like, okay, this is where, and like, this is, yeah.
Oh my God. I wish there was a way that you can like dissolve those text messages or like delete them.
Right?
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
You
come
can
on,
do the invisible
iMessage.
ink or those go
Ooh.
away.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
on
okay.
iPhone. Do you have an iPhone?
I do. Oh my yeah. I can't do green text. I dated a man with green text for 3.5 years. Okay, I did my time. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I am that bitch where I play. That's the only time I feel like as a woman we pray for blue. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not on a pregnancy test. It's only on an iPhone. You know what I mean? Like, are you getting my gifts? Did you read it? And also, did my message deliver? Like, I need to know these things. You know what I mean? The green text, I'm like, nah, bro. It hurts my eyes.
It leaves too much like for, yeah.
Ambiguity. No.
And it's
Ambiguity,
fun.
yeah.
It's like the only time that's an exception is like when I'm in like a WhatsApp. Because when I'm like in a WhatsApp and like texting a dude, I'm like, oh, he's international. You know what I mean? He's like visiting.
Yeah, but I like
Cuba
that's one thing
man.
about like international
exactly.
people, or if they moved from another country, moved in, and they just all use WhatsApp. I hate it.
True. I mean, you have to, I feel like, make the transition at some point for sure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it definitely is one of those things where I'm kind of like, yeah, WhatsApp also was kind of like, are we making drug deals? Like, what?
Yeah,
like,
it
how is
feels
this
sketch.
working? Do you know?
It's like using what's that other app? Signal.
Sick. Oh my God. I just learned how to use that one. That one's crazy to me.
Yeah,
I remember when I went to Greece, I met a local police officer who I was quite intrigued by, and he was quite
was
intrigued.
hot.
He was so hot. Anyways,
nice ass.
we
He
were
was
trying
hot.
to hook up, and I'm trying to. What was the app called? It was a purple one. Shit, what was it?
Purple texting
It was a
app?
Yeah, but it was
like an
kinda
international
It was
one.
another international. It was kind of like WhatsApp.
Of
It was
course,
kind
the
of
police
sketchy.
officer will know. He's like, this is how the drug dealers I catch communicate. You know,
This
You
is
should
what
ask-
we use.
Yeah, right. This is what the youths use. How did he know? I
Oh,
wanna
it's
know
called
how he learned.
Viber.
Viber.
Yeah.
Did we hook up with the Grecian police
No,
officer?
we tried really hard, but it didn't work out. But he was
Greece
so
was
hot.
also a wreck.
Yeah, it was a wreck
for us.
But he was a Leo. He was
what's
2
your
years
sign?
2
I'm a
years younger.
Scorpio. Obviously.
Oh my god, we'll have to do your chart sometime.
Oh, okay, fun. I've never had that happen.
Oh my god,
What?
yes.
Yeah.
Should we do it now? Do you know your birth time?
Yes, I do. I mean, I have like the co-star stuff.
Oh no, we got to move you out of CoStar.
Why is that
Co-star.
bad?
No,
Just get you a
co-stars-
better chart.
Yeah.
Okay, what's a better chart? What's a better app?
I like to use.
There's cafeastrology.com.
Okay.
Astroseek.com is a good one. I have
Yes.
like a software app where it's like the literal astrology software, so it's like way in depth. And then the pattern is really good. I
Okay,
love
I
the
heard that
pattern.
one's though. I've heard horror stories in the sense that it's like, wow, pattern shows violence today. Like it tells
Yeah.
you things that you're like, I didn't want to hear that. You
Oh,
know
but
what I
it's
mean?
good.
It is
but
a
it's
very
good.
real app.
But if I feel like if you're in line with your destiny, you'll read it and you'll be like, this
Yes.
is it. Yeah.
I know. I need to get in line with my destiny because right now I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? Like I'm very confused by my destiny right now.
I'll read your chart and
talk
let you
to
know.
us. Hoe phase. How's that going? What's
yeah.
your advice for
yes,
someone?
my hoe phase. I'm back in it.
Yeah.
It's really tricky. First of all, I thought it was gonna be a smooth transition. I'm back on the apps.
Okay.
Which I absolutely hate. There is not a single
Go ahead.
winner yet.
Okay.
What?
Well, I was going to say, what apps do you use?
I've done them all. I've tried them all. But right now I'm just down to Bumble and Hinge.
Okay.
Like those are the two. I do like, in a weird way, Hinge seems to have a bit of an algorithm. Like it's feeling very TikTok-y where I'm like, now that I'm like liking and disliking certain like swiping and stuff, I can sense that I'm like, oh, you are showing me kind of people that seem to be more artsy, or people that are like, you know, have like adult jobs, you know, lawyer, doctor, architect type things, and then have really cool hobbies that line up with mine. Like there's just something that I feel like Hinge is really like kind of getting it for me, versus like a Bumble, which is just like, I don't know. Like it just seems so like, it's really bleak out there, ladies. It's wild. But it's also, I feel like, bleak for the dudes, because I've met dudes that are really chill and really cool. And like, that's the other thing, is that I'm like, oh, we're homies. But they also tell me weird horror stories about like what we're doing wrong, where I'm like, humans just suck. Like,
wait, what are the guys saying that girls are doing wrong?
Well, like the number one that always cracks me up is the whole idea where they're like, you meet the girl and then she's immediately like, you're not as tall as your thing. And it's like, oh, whoa, that must be such like a gut punch. Because my thing is, men always look at my thing and it says 5'11", and they're like, does my height bother you? And I'm like, no, because we're all the same height in bed, basically. I don't give a fuck about like, I've never actually been with a guy besides my ex who is taller than me.
Okay, I wanted to ask about this.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Wait, so you're 5'11"?
I'm 5'11", yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you? And you seem very like proud 5'11". Like
I love it.
I see a lot of girls that are like a very shy 5'10".
Yeah,
You're a proud 5'11".
I gotta say, if you have those legs and you have that height, tits up, shoulders back, you better fucking own
I
it.
will say though, I forget to take the tits up because like they are so heavy. Like I'm 5'11" with 22 pounds on my chest, so
I
it
just
is
meant,
like
like,
very
you know,
much.
more
Oh
so.
yeah.
Wait, have you weighed your tits?
Oh yeah, because I wanted to get a reduction for a really long time. So they like they are. This is a
pounds.
40F. This is 22 pounds. It's my favorite thing when I'm fucking a guy and I take my bra off and the look in their face of just like seeing them. They're just like, it's literally, I just hear them in their heads going, titties. Like, it's like there, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, boobies. Like there's a lot. But yes,
Wow.
I'm 5'11" with big titties and great legs.
So what? Yeah, what is it like out there, you know, especially like with men that are maybe shorter than you? Like, what's your advice to short kings? What's your, like, obviously you just said you don't mind.
I don't mind a short king. I don't mind a pocket prince. I don't mind any of that. Like, there was one dude that came up to me and he was like, it was the funniest thing. Because usually when I see a short guy, I'm like, ooh, do you like to climb trees? Like, as like a kind of.
Yeah.
This guy came up to me. He goes, hey, I'm not afraid of heights. And I was like, ah! And I was like, well, I was looking down. And I was like, that's so cute. Like, come on up. You know, I do like but it's weird though, because I feel like it's weird because there's a lot of guys that like get really weird about it. Like I was on a date with a guy who's like 5'9", and he kept like, I could tell that he was, and I was like, babes, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't wear heels either. I always wear sneakers.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, you're like, just be. But it's weird. I think that I became insecure about it because the dudes around me were insecure. So then it was like a projection.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, that's not me. That's just you not knowing how to handle a tall girl.
Well, I feel like it's going to either reinforce their confidence and like what they've worked on in themselves, or it's going to highlight what the areas where they're still insecure about their height.
Exactly. And then it becomes this whole thing where I'm just like, I really don't care about height, honestly, because it's just like, we are like, when we're in bed, just know like, if you can flip my body, it's fine, you know?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of dudes that I feel like are really conscious about their heights. And I don't know if it's because of themselves or because there's apparently girls being like, you're not tall enough. And I'm like, do they pull out a tape measure? Because there's sometimes where I tell people I'm 5'11" and they're like, are you? And then they're like, yeah, no way, you're actually 5'11".
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I do present tall, but there's some people like, I don't understand height because I'm so tall that someone could tell me they're 5'6" and I'd be like, you're like 5'9", right? And they're like, no, Rose, that's
we're
not like
5'2".
No, see, I would totally say that you guys were 5'6".
Yeah,
There's no way you're 5'2".
We're 5'2".
I'm 5'1 3/4.
Wait, are you taller?
I'm 5'2 3/4. Yeah.
Oh, are you guys the same height? You have to be the same height,
Or
right?
an inch. I'm an inch taller.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And you're older, right?
No, Kamala's older.
That's
yeah.
right. The switch. Okay, but it's like it's a thing. I feel like the height does not bother me, and if it doesn't bother you, then like say less. You know, we're good
Well,
to go.
I
It
definitely
makes me
met-
sad that the guys are saying that's like
Yeah.
one of the biggest things. Because like
Huge.
it shouldn't be.
I think a lot of
Massive.
women. I think a lot of women associate height and actually, it's going to be three things. When they look at a tall dude, they think three things. He's got a big dick.
Never true.
Nope. I've been with
never
enough
true.
tall guys to know it is
It's
not
not
proportional,
true.
and it is always the short, lanky guys that pull out like a fucking
Yeah, thuds. You can hear it. It's
Yeah.
like Thor's hammer.
It is.
It's like, and you're like, give it to me.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
So if they see a tall guy, they think he's gonna have a big dick. If they see a tall guy, they automatically assume he's more masculine and more of a protector.
Ooh. Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm. And I think honestly, a lot of times they associate it with like, like, how do I put this? Like if you're with a taller dude, like more people are gonna see that as like the aesthetic of it.
Oh, that like it makes
Yeah.
it's a viable thing for you too. It
Exactly.
makes you look
It
good.
makes you look smaller, shorter, everything like more petite, like more feminine, and then they look
Okay.
more masculine. So
Okay.
and then you're falling into like the gender norms and like the gender, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like the aesthetic of it is better than like the
I
contrary.
get that, but I also feel like you said, it's norms set by other people. Like fuck
Exactly,
off, you know what
yeah.
I mean? One of my favorite couples in the entire world is there's this British singer by the name of Jamie Cullum,
Mm-hmm.
and he is married to Roald Dahl, the author's granddaughter. He is your guys' height, and she is 6'2".
Oh.
And it's the cutest thing in the entire world. They're little like,
I love
just
that.
like, and she towers over him. And I just like imagine that like he lets that happen. And then in the bedroom, he towers over her. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you
Oh,
never
yeah.
know. And I've always noticed short kings always know how to throw down in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Always. Because
Yeah.
they've studied, they've done the education. Also, they're short, so they've been down there for a long amount of time. You know, they're
Yeah.
like at
Oh,
eye
yeah.
level. They're like, I know
They
what
can
to do
find
with
the
this.
clit.
They can find it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, here she is. Like, they're like mechanics. You know what I mean? They just roll up underneath you. But like a short king can lay down in the fucking bedroom.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so too.
Facts.
I love short kings.
Yeah.
And that's like one thing that like I try to remind men of. It's like, please don't think that your height is gonna be like some, defining like no.
That's
No.
why I almost wish like I get it. I've definitely met guys that on the dating apps they put taller than they actually were, and then I meet them and I'm like, you're definitely not. But at the same time, like I didn't care. I was still
yeah.
just
I
as
don't even
attracted.
look
to
at that.
I don't either. Yeah.
I always forget because it's like on Hinge, what I really like, it's the furthest. So you
Yeah,
have to like
yeah, yeah,
scroll.
yeah.
And then honestly, I'm like, oh, he likes dogs. Like, I don't really care about the height situation.
Yeah.
And I just also then, you just hope that it's reciprocated, that they also don't care about the height thing. Because there are some dudes that I think are short kings that can be a little like, oh, you think you're better than me because you're taller? And I'm like, okay, why are you coming at me like that? Like,
Exactly.
you're projecting a lot of shit on me.
Yeah.
So it's like, there are, but I haven't experienced that as many as like short kings that are just like, what's the weather like up there? You know what I mean? Like they're a little more confident about like being like, I could bag you. And I'm like, you could.
I love that.
Yeah. I like a short king.
I have friends that are like, or guy friends that are shorter that love tall women. And then I also, one of my really good friends, she's 5'10", and she's like model body, like beautiful. She's also got really big boobs, and she's always like, the guy has to be. She's 5'10". Yeah, she's always like, he has to at least be 6'3", because she wants to wear heels and all this stuff. And like, I get it. But at the same time, like, I feel like it's really hard to find 6'3" dudes and up.
No,
Do you know
wear
how
the
hard
heels.
that is?
Yeah, that's so hard. And also, look, there are some times where I feel like this is gonna sound so fucked up, and maybe
Let's
this
hear
is the
it.
comment that I
No.
overshare. Sometimes I'm like, tall dudes might be a little dumb. Just a little dumb. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, there's just something about you that just feels a little dumb. Just a lot. Like if you're over like 6'6", I'm like,
You know what I
you
think
might
it
be
is?
a little dumb.
You know what I think it is?
It's the oxygen up there?
No.
Oh, the depletion. There's too much or something. It's like being in Denver. No, it's not that. Sorry.
Being in Denver. No, what I was gonna say was.
What are you
okay.
gonna say?
Okay, I don't necessarily. Well, okay, and this might also be a little bit of a hot take. A lot of times when they're tall and really good looking, they don't really have to develop a personality.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you said it better than me just calling them dumb. Is I think that it's kind of like, it's the pretty syndrome where
Yeah.
it's like, I don't have to do anything. I just showed up.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, what do you bring to the table? And you're like, I brought the table. Like they just don't try past that. You know what I mean? Because they never needed to.
Exactly.
But yes, I completely
So then you're
agree.
like, do you talk?
Yeah, right? You have to
Hello?
like ask like I was on a date last night. This very handsome man, great fucking body. He was 6'3". He was super nice. And then I was just sitting there being like, this is the most boring date I've ever been on. It was just
can't
like
talk.
dry bones and just like nothing. And then I found myself making shit up. Because I was like so bored and I knew that I would never see him again. So
Might
I was
as well
just kind of
test
like,
out some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, yeah,
hate
I
that.
used to like, you know, I like basically was thinking about the movie Jurassic Park, and I was like, yeah, I used to like be a paleologist like back in the day. I like worked in Hawaii with like this movie called, you know, Jurassic Park, and he was like, oh, okay, nothing, and I was like, motherfucker, dinosaurs, like dinosaurs, and
Oh my God, I love that.
That's my dinosaur tattoo.
So
It's
cute.
thinking out loud. It's a pun.
That's so
It never gets old. But yeah, so like I was just like nothing, and I think it was literally I was just like, God, you're so pretty, and I just kept thinking that, and then I was like finding myself being like, no, snap out of it, Rose. He's an idiot. He doesn't want to contribute. He just feels so. And then of course he was like texting me this morning. He was like, I had so much fun last night, and I was like, did you? Because you basically I entertained you for fucking 2 hours.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
It was, yeah, I mean, like, it was exhausting
love
for me.
that.
I know. I mean, like, for y'all, I'll do it for free. But, like, I made this motherfucker buy me at least a ginger beer. And you know what sucks? You know what's even worse? Is even the fucking bartender was like, that was a bad date, wasn't it? And I was like, God, you're hot. And it was. Like,
Oh, the bartender was hot?
The bartender was so hot. And that's the thing. I was texting my friend as I came home from this date, right? This is, like, literally the 5th failed first date in probably, like, a week now, right? I'm just, like, so over it.
I'm so sorry.
It's been terrible. And one of the things that I was like telling my friend, I was like, I am missing the opportunities because I'll go to these bars and I'm like, oh, this is where the hot people are? Like the bartenders are hot, the fucking people, the patrons are hot. And I'm like,
No.
but I'm on a date with a very hot, pretty statue. Like it's just marble. Like there's just nothing. It's shiny, it's cute, it's chiseled, but like
That's it.
that's it. There's nothing
Yeah.
there. And
They
it
gotta-
upsets me.
So that's what I'm saying. At least I feel like the short kings build a personality, and then the tall ones just don't.
Yeah.
I will say bartenders know how to fuck.
Oh, they always do. I
So
know.
They always go for it.
I know. I love a bartender. The bartenders are they're
man.
always the best.
Ooh, yes, my last bartender that I fucked. Oh man.
Okay,
And
wait.
he had a fat cock too. It was beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
So have you faked an orgasm before?
Yes, I have faked an
dates?
orgasm.
Wait, do you sleep on the first date?
Oh yeah, I sleep on. It doesn't even have to be a date. You know
Wait,
what I mean?
but as I'm thinking
Amen.
as I'm thinking about it right now, you said the dating apps. We actually recently recorded with one. It's called First Rounds on Me.
Oh yes, I've heard about that one. Okay,
Sign
that
up
one's
for
good.
it.
Okay, I'll
sign up
that
for
one.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool concept. I keep meaning to go build a profile on there and go check it out.
Oh my god. I'll
But I'm
do
also
that.
kind of like I'm happy with all my current partners.
You have a good rotation.
I have a good. Well, I would call it more than a rotation with yeah. So it's like I have people that like I've been seeing for a while, or one's like fairly new, but it's going really great, and so it's like I'm happy. So I don't need to go on there, but I want
Yeah.
to. Just for the sake of like testing it out and seeing what it's like.
You have like a good spin to your people. I'm like a lazy Susan right now. Like it's just like nothing happening on this like rotation. There's one solid dude. I will always give it to my boy. He I will not say his name.
No?
Well, the
We
funny thing
keep-
is that we used to call him Cokehead Curtis because he his nickname was Cokehead Curtis because he was a cokehead.
Okay.
Named
but
Curtis?
yeah, pretty much, yeah. It had like a ring to it, But now, like we hadn't talked in like 4 years, and now that I'm single, I like hit him up recently, and now he's like, oh yeah, I don't do coke anymore, and he's like sober and like gotten his shit together and like
He cleaned it up.
He cleaned it up and still dicks it down. Like
Ooh.
this man knows what he's doing. And I also feel like because before I started dating my ex, me and him were like on and off for like 3.5 years, that like he knows my body. So it was like I didn't have to like start over
that.
again.
Yeah.
So Skirtis and I, like, he's like, I hit him up and it's like, it's great. We have just like a good rapport with each other. So like he's in it, and then everyone else is just Like I don't. It's
I get
just-
it.
I
Yeah.
know, but yeah, no, I fuck on the first date. Sometimes I'm like, I don't need the date. I just want the sex.
Same.
Yeah, and what's your philosophy on that? So many people are always like, and I feel like I hate when people ask that question. They're like, should I have sex on the first date?
Yes.
I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
If
If
you
you
want
want
to.
to. If you want to.
I mean,
If you
literally,
don't.
The greatest scam society ever played on us women is the fact that they made us believe that sex wasn't on our terms. Sex has always been on our terms.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what makes them mad.
And that's what makes them mad because my mom always used to tell me, fuck like a man. On your terms, when you want to, whenever you can, just do it.
And
So
that's
it's
how
like
you pull off the hat tricks, the perfect
the
date,
perfect game,
the perfect
all that
game.
shit.
Yeah.
I once did a perfect game for a friend because I had just finished a perfect game, and then I was like, I'm gonna get 7 of my friends laid in 7 days, and I did it. And it's like I want to do it again. But yeah, I did get
That
like
sounds so fun.
and it became like it was like the summer before I moved to LA, and it was like this thing where I had gotten 3 friends laid, and we were at a booth in this bar in Seattle called Big Mario's, and like someone was like, oh yeah, Rose is trying to do a perfect game, and this like stranger we had just talked to was like, yeah, I want to get laid, and I was like, I can find you someone, and then it was like literally the entire night just turned into me trying to find this man to a woman to get laid, and he did, and so 7 friends in 7 days.
Wow.
I'm a hoe that gives back.
You were doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
I tried to spread
A
the gospel.
wing woman.
I'm a pilot
Hoe.
because I always land. That's what I always tell people.
That was smooth.
I was like, I'm not a wing woman, I'm a pilot. I always
I think
land.
my nipples just peaked.
I just came up with that. They are so hard. You look at glass. Wow, you have really beautiful nipples.
Oh, thank you. They're tiny.
But no, they're beautiful. Is that tiny? I don't think that's tiny.
Oh, I don't know.
No, those are.
Thank
they're
But you
you.
can't see them
beautiful.
through that shirt.
That's, it's,
yeah.
They look great. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
no, I came up with that line recently actually when a guy was like, oh, you're a great wing woman. And I just like sassily was like, I'm a pilot. And then I was like, I'm brilliant. But yeah, no, there's nothing I love more than being a pilot. Like I absolutely love getting my friends laid.
I love that.
Like I've even done what I've been calling like a brooming system where like I'll be on apps and I'll like look at a guy and be like, not for me, but, and then I'll swipe on him and be like, I have a friend. I don't think you're really my type, but you definitely fit all the parameters of her. So I've been like brooming out like, okay, no, I'll sweep you into this category. And it's been
Brooming.
and
Has
it's
it
been
worked?
good.
I love
it.
that.
It has worked a couple times, actually. It has worked out with like really things where friends are like, oh yeah, it was great. Like me and him had a couple dates and like it was good sex. Nothing bad yet. No like marriages or relationships, but like, you know, those are both kind
Still,
of
the fact that
overrated.
you'd be that considerate. I'm going to be honest. When I was on the apps, I was never like thinking about anyone else except my own needs.
Oh my God, there's so many times because I always like, I'm like, I want someone else to enjoy it because I feel like, and I learned this because when you ask the faking orgasm question, one thing that happened when Steph and I first became friends is like she and her friends were like talking and the amount of women that I know that fake orgasms all the time. And I was like, what? And the amount of women who've never had an orgasm?
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
number's surprising.
it blows my effing, and I get it. Orgasms are different, like from penetration, you know, it's only
Yeah, yeah.
11%, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
happen to
it's
be in
very
that
low.
11% actually. But like the fact that like clitoris stimulation, being eaten out, you know, even humping, you know, ribbing, all that stuff is like, that's how women normally get orgasms. So like, that's when I was like, no, women, homies, friends, we are going to fuck and we are going to find people that are good at fucking and you're going to enjoy like sex. Don't fake the orgasm.
Yes.
It is 2022. You should not have to fake an orgasm.
I agree.
Not anymore. Not in this not with this technology either.
I was gonna say, get a vibrator. At
Get a
least.
vibrator. And you'd be
Yeah.
surprised on how many guys are intimidated at first. And then if you set it, like if you're hitting it from behind and you set it on your clit and they feel it on their balls,
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're like, oh, what is this? They get excited by
And then
it
they're
too.
like, and then they'll ask,
They'll
like, did
bring
you
it
bring
back.
it?
Yeah.
Exactly. They're like, where's our little friend? And you're like, I knew it. I fucking
brought
knew
Fred.
it. Yeah, exactly. You're like, I bought a bigger one, you know? And then all of a sudden they're into it more than you are. And you're like, okay, I get what's happening. But yes, I mean, like I have faked orgasms, but I haven't faked orgasms. Like I think I like made like talked about this on like Broke Girl where like I made like a promise to myself like when I moved to LA I was like no like
Never gonna
I
pick one.
had
Yeah.
like the relationship I got out of that helped me move to LA was just like toxic as fuck and was like terrible and like sex was used very much as a weapon against me where he like
Ooh.
wouldn't have sex with me. He dealt with some like issues with like getting it up and like some other stuff.
no,
He
no.
just smoked
Yeah.
weed all the fucking time and like couldn't get even just a chubby, like nothing.
That can affect it, yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I was like, have always had a high sex drive, higher than most men that I've been with.
Same.
So I've just kind of been like, kindred souls. And so then I've always been like, I'm not gonna fake an orgasm. Like I'm not gonna like, I don't want to put on a performance anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and also getting rid of the idea that like I'm gonna look ugly. Like I want to like if I'm gonna have an orgasm, I don't want to look pretty. I'm not trying to do like the porn star. Like you're gonna get the gargoyle. You're gonna get like the weird. You know what I mean? Like I just am not.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. I want you to see what actual real pleasure. And you'll be surprised on how many men are just like that was fucking hot.
Yeah.
Like you relax, and then they sense that you're not trying to like be this like perception of like a porn star or something. You know.
Definitely.
I love that. Because I think of the times that, you know, especially if I'm fucking a dude for the first time.
And you want it to end?
Well, I was going to say.
Facts.
Well, if I want it to end, I will put on a show, honey. I will convince you that I just came the hardest I've ever come.
Yep.
So then we can move on from this experience.
You're like, I feel a UTI coming. Let's wrap this up. Yep, I know that trick. I know that. That's a good one. That is a good one. But even then, I won't fake it. I'll just be like, bro, like, I need you to come. I'll just like say what I know what they need to say.
Or just, exactly. You can just be like, are you going to come for me, baby?
Yeah,
and then,
come on.
I was going to say, if I'm enjoying the sex, I still feel like I have to like look, you know, so pretty when I'm coming. And I just normally, like, especially if I'm on top, just throw my head back so they can't see it. And
no, just lean into it. Because the amount of times I've seen a man's O face and been like, oh, that's not bad. Like, kind of freaked out by it, but then being like, oh, you didn't think about that. You know what I mean? Like the nostrils flares, the cross eyes, and the biting the lip, and you're just like, oh, you had fun. And then in a weird way, I was like, but then in a weird way, I'm like, I made that face.
Yeah.
You like kind of own it. You're like, I baked that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And it just is so much better to like release it. Cause like, let's be honest, like sex is a very grotesque thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's very violent.
And dirty.
And it's like, and dirty
Juicy.
and juicy and just like visceral and like so much fun. So it's like, you don't think about what your face looks like on a fucking roller coaster. So like, why the fuck would I think about it like in sex? Like I want that excitement. I want that like veracity and feeling. So yes, I'm lean. Don't go this way. Go that way. Just lean into it.
You brought up a good point, and it made me think about how like it always surprises me the dudes that are screamers when they orgasm.
I had a friend. This is a true story, and I won't call it anyone. I had a friend. She was Middle Eastern. And she was fucking a white boy who would say, God bless America, every time he came.
Oh, no.
And we were like, is it because...
Does he only do that with her?
No.
No.
He apparently, it was literally, and we were like cackling because we were like, it's like that episode of Sex and the City when the guy didn't realize that he was like saying the dirty things to Charlotte. Like, you fucking bitch, you fucking whore when he came.
Yeah.
The guy was like, no, I don't. I don't say God bless America when I come. And she was like, yes, you do. Like, she thought he was like gaslighting him. And then there was like a time where they were like having sex and she just basically like covered his mouth to just be like, and he was like, I'm doing it. So she stopped having sex with him. So I don't know if he's still, but if anyone out there who fucks an interesting white boy who screams, God bless America.
That's like manifesting.
I guess.
You can. I highly recommend manifesting while you're orgasming, but yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, scream out my, like, what I want? Like, I want a raise. Or like I want an Oscar. Like, you want that?
So, like, actually, yeah. How do you do it? Because I need to know how to do this.
Here's the thing. So sexual energy is very powerful. And I've like seen and read a lot of things about like manifesting while you're orgasming. Now, when I masturbate, it's a lot easier because it's like just me, myself, and I. So I can sit there and be like, you know, this is what these are the things that I am like wanting to align with, whatever. However, when you're with a partner, I understand that you're probably not sitting there going to be, you know, as you're like orgasming, like going to say what you want, you know, to manifest, right?
I'll do it.
Okay, but yeah, so do it.
I'll report back.
Say it out loud. Please do. As you're orgasming, say it out loud and really like tap into the feeling of how you would feel if those manifestations came to life, right?
While you're orgasming.
While you're orgasming.
Sounds like a lot.
Yes. So if you can't say it out loud while you're with a partner, that's how you're supposed to do it. Like as you're orgasming, tap into how you would feel if all your manifestations came to life.
Came to life.
Yeah.
Wow. You should literally start a cult called that. Like came to life manifestations. Okay. Okay, I have some questions.
Okay.
So is it probably more powerful with a person then than it is with masturbation?
I actually don't know.
I think
if
it's
that
powerful
affects-
in different ways.
Okay,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Because
thing
I
is
mean,
that, like-
I feel like the person that if you're doing it with a partner, they'd have to be also tapping into their energy for it to work.
You guys would have to
That
be
way-
manifesting the same things. So like if it's a couple and you guys want to manifest together, you're
Oh,
orgasming,
that's
good
cute.
idea. But if it's like some random dude, then his energy is probably not going to help.
Oh,
So-
okay. So probably start with the masturbation a bit.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
step into, this is someone that I really enjoyed. This is like
Someone that makes that makes you feel high vibrational,
Ooh.
then that's someone that you
That's
can
the person that
manifest
I should
with.
try
Yeah.
with. Okay.
Or if it's
damn.
like a new moon, do it then.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna really have to fucking try this. This sounds like a really great way to like get my dreams across.
Oh yeah.
That's so interesting.
I
And
want you to win an Oscar.
I do. I know. I do too. I'm just gonna put that out there. Just
Do it.
someday. It's honestly, whenever people are like, "That's impossible," I'm like, "Is it though? It also could be possible." Oh my god! Now I'm like, feel like I'm on the spot. Like, what do I need?
An Oscar.
I want an Oscar.
No,
I
but I
also
feel
want someone
like
to pick up my show. That's
has-
also another thing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what
What
come
show?
like naturally.
I wrote it because I'm a TV writer, so I've definitely like written a couple of scripts and everything, and I'm like, ooh, let me just like find the like right producer to like make my fantastic script. So yeah, I'm just gonna put that out there, finding the right producer and right director.
You know
to,
who
like,
we
make my
need to
features.
connect her with?
Who?
Dylan.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good come
To like for career or fucking.
for career.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
yeah. I respect that too. That's totally fine. I like that.
I'm trying to think what Dylan's type is. I fucked Dylan. He has a great dick.
That's fine. I'm also like, how do you guys feel about that? Because I know some people like sometimes like fucking homies is very like high school ancestral like weird, but I feel like as we get older, it's kind of like,
I mean, I come from like, non-monogamy and I have a whole friend group of that are mainly swingers. And it's like, so for example, my best friends with benefits, her and I, we've had sex with a lot of the same dudes in that group. And then she had sex with someone that Cammie had sex with, like, so there's like a lot of like, we've all kind of like,
She and I will not hook up with the
yeah,
same
we don't hook
dudes.
up with the same people, but like within that group,
makes
like
sense.
there have been people that like I've hooked up that like a bunch of my friends have hooked up with and vice versa.
do guys get weird about that? Where like, do they want to do the weird fantasy of hooking up with both of you guys?
Yeah, they do, but we don't let them.
I had one of my partners actually like legitimately suggest it, and after that, I just couldn't see him again.
That's that's not kind of gross. That is very gross. I accidentally did hook up with brothers, but it was years apart.
Oh.
Where I was like had sex with one of them like after high school, and then had sex with his brother, and I was like, well, how do you know Benny? And he's like, that's my brother. And I was like, ha! That's weird. But like, yeah, like but I wasn't on purpose. Like it wasn't like I was seeking that out. But ooh.
Oh, I think we're
I
about to.
used to be a true like
we gotta wrap up.
Oh,
homie
sorry, I
hopper.
talked too much. I'm so
No,
sorry.
no.
What?
We're good.
Are you
We're
kidding
good.
me? You've been perfect. I
Yeah.
love this.
But the
episode.
homie hopping, yes, that is like definitely like a whole
Yeah.
thing. Maybe I'll just have to come back and
Oh
just,
my
like,
god!
we should
would
definitely
love
do
to
a part
another
two.
one.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Well, I'll have to tell you about the manifestation of orgasms.
Well, let us know. We could do a whole episode on it. Yeah.
As well as like all the terrible dating
Yeah.
that I'm doing right now.
Well, so in which one do you like as far as like Hinge and Bumble? Which one do you have most success with? Because like for example, I hated Hinge.
okay,
Yeah.
so I used to hate Hinge, but I don't know what it is, but I found more dudes that are willing to like banter on Hinge, where I feel like Bumble has been a great place for me to be like, what's your address? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I could see that.
it
I could
used
see
to be
that.
Tinder. Like Tinder was literally at a point, Tinder was just basically Craigslist listings.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
just it was literally Grindr for straight people.
Where's
right?
the lie though?
It's true.
Yeah, right? And then Bumble was like, oh, like it's Craigslist listing, but like he's a good guy and he's verified and has like a job and he's really cool and has like a dog and like only one roommate, where I feel like Hinge is just like kind of a little more like maybe has its shit together a little bit.
Maybe.
But still scamming you out of like weird shit. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So where can they find you besides Hinge and Bumble? Where can our
like
listeners
plug
find?
myself,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
You can
Where-
find me at Rose_Etta Stone.
I
and
love
then
that.
the new blogontheblock.com is like where I like talk about dating, depression, life, and everything in between.
We'll link
I
that
love
on the
that
show
you
notes.
and you
Yeah.
also do book reviews on your Instagram.
I do. I just finished a book, which I'm still like reeling about. Like I was driving here and I was like, what was that book
Was it
about?
fantastical?
No, it was this book called The Story of My Teeth.
Oh.
And it was basically, it was an art. I know it sounds weird, but it was an art installation kind of where this I believe she was Mexican, but this artist, she wrote this story about how back in the day when they used to like make. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna wrap it up. Just kidding. Just read the book review. Fucking A, call me off. I talk too much. I'm cute, but I talk too much.
Your voice like is so soothing.
Is it
I
really?
just love it.
It
Anyways,
is.
yes.
Okay, but yeah, you can.
I
read my book
do have to
reviews.
do the outro.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning
yes.
in. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Wear condoms.
Wear condoms. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that was great. No, you're good.
Look, we actually look really good.